Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Aries EDC. Let's talk a little bit about handle materials, shall we? Well, all right, guys. So I've been since I'm waiting for all of the March builds to come back because they are all at heat treat. I did order all of the handle materials for those, and I've gotten almost all of it in. I think there's just some bits and pieces of stuff, not just handle materials, but Kydex and some other stuff I'm still waiting for. So I wanted to open it all. Well, I kind of already opened it all, but I kind of wanted to go through with you to see what's in store for this month. And I got some stuff on the table. I also have some problems that I need to solve with some of this handle material. I forgot some. So let me go through this real quick with you guys and talk to you about what's to come for March. So, first things first, we have a Hawk, and the Nitro V Hawk is going to be an OD green G10 and black liners. So we're just going to keep it simple, black liners, black pins, OD green G10. So that will be pretty fun to do. Then we have, let's see, what else we're going to talk about. We have, I want to hold these. We have some Kieranite. We're going to do the lava flow Kieranite on the spike. So we're doing a spike, and that's getting the lava flow Kieranite with the red liners. So just kind of like my bloom with the red lava flow, red and black lava flow Kieranite with the red liners and red pins. So that's all going to be done on the spike. So that one will be really, really fun. And I'm losing everything here. Oh my goodness. I'm going to keep these close. Okay, so then we have, I want to talk about this material last. Then we have the pistol. Now the pistol, this person wants some really special things going on. So he wants, this is the, oh man, what Kieranite is this? This is the, carbon Kieranite or something. Maybe I'll put it on the screen, but I don't remember the name of this Kieranite, but it's this black Kieranite. And he wants that with a bolster look with this pearled white pearl Kieranite. So you're going to have the white pearl Kieranite as the bolster area, and this will be farther back on the blade. I'll do a little inlay of G10, just separating the two out, and it's all going to have a white liner. So that will be pretty stinking cool. So we have this Kieranite and this Kieranite together. So I think that's going to give it a nice classic black and white look. And that person wanted a really fancy Kydex, so he's getting this for his sheath. So you're going to have that as the sheath and this as the handle material on the pistol that is being done. So that's going to be pretty stinking cool. So I'm going to have some fun Kydex. Then we have this. This is some really cool stuff. By the way, if you want to see what Kieranite is available, you can always go to Kieranite.com. They have they have pretty much all the Kieranites and stuff that is available to you. So Kieranite.com. I'm not an affiliate of them at all. This is where I got the Kieranite from. So there's that. Then we have this, and this is from Camo Carbon. So again, I'm not an affiliate of them in any way, shape, or form, but Camo Carbon. And this is the, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it. He's going to kill me. The Black Pearl. So this is Black Pearl Camo Carbon. And I have the pistol up here. This is just the carbon Kieranite. So this That black kieranite is just a carbon. It's called carbon. That's called carbon. Kind of looks like that. So you have this camo carbon, which is really stinking cool. Look at that. It's going to look really awesome. And this is going on one of the Hawks as well. So, yep, going to be really nice. And this is kind of some thin material. The thing with handle materials that really is important is, and we're going to talk about it here in a second, is sometimes you got to get the right thickness of material for the knife that you're building. And we're going to talk a little bit about it here in a second. But I got this in. It's going to be pretty cool. I am probably going to end up doing a black liner with this just because that material is 1/8 inch thin and it's not very thick. So I'm going to need to thicken that handle up just a little bit, even though it is a Hawk and I like the Hawk to have a thinner handle. It just doesn't look right with a thicker material, but that is going to look pretty stinking cool. Again, material from camo carbon, so that's awesome. So let's talk about these materials here. We are going to be doing the other Hawk and the Bushy Bowie. So the Bushy Bowie is getting this. This is Catalox. It's called Catalox. It's a type of hardwood, and this is some of it right here. It's going to look really, really cool. Here's a little bit more of it right here. So once I get sanded and everything else, it's going to look really cool. And then we have this stuff, which somebody actually sent to me from, and I'm going to show you guys here in a second. This is stabilized and dyed curly Masur birch. So it's Masur birch, and you can see exactly what it is. They have it in the scales, and it's a really attractive. I can't wait to really start working with this and seeing what it's like. I can only imagine what this stuff is going to look like. So both sides, it's going to have really awesome movement. Really excited about working with it. And so it's going to have this with a bolstered look, and they chose the burlap micarta. So I think the burlap micarta matches well with the burlap look on the Hawk for this to build. Now, let's talk about thinness of material and thickness of material, because people want to send me materials, but sometimes they don't understand what's available and what works best for their knife. The pistol, I got a 3/16 inch thick piece of material for that. And the reason that I got that, which is exactly what this burl is, or this natural burlap micarta is because it's going to get this, plus it's going to have this white liner, so it's going to get even thicker in the handle. So you have that thickness together on both sides, plus the thickness of the steel itself. So, which is good because it's a bigger, full-handled knife. So I can work with a thicker material with that because it kind of works. But when you have something like the Hawk, which I'll use my Hawk as an example, or the Spike for that matter, I don't think a nice big thick handle on this knife really makes any sense whatsoever. You want a nice thinner handle. So on this one, I used the 3/16 burlap micarta. That's basically what I used for this knife. So, and it filled out nice and it feels good in your hand. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's just right where it needs to be. But sometimes when you get materials like these two, you don't really get a good option on thickness. It's like, if you're going to get the wood, well, this is the only thickness you can get. Or with this, it's the only thickness you can get. And he really wanted this. And by the way, this material he got from Upscales. So they do some really neat scales. I went and checked them out. So pretty awesome stuff. The problem with this right now is I have it, but I can't just slap that on the knife together because you could see how thick that handle material would be. So what I need to do is thin this out. And I've done it with this. So this is what it started off as, and this is what I've ground it down to. So I have pretty much, and I messed up a little bit, but that's fine. I'm only going to use that much of this material because here's the handle of the bushy bowie, and it comes right before that little oopsie that I did on the handle. So we got plenty of material to work with, plus I have another scale here. So we're going to be fine. But I needed to thin this material out, so I ended up thinning it out basically just under 3/16, and once it's all rounded and shaped and everything, you'll never even know the difference. But it's going to be a nice thin handle. What I did was I took this to my router and just vertically rounded and just removed little bits of material at a time, and then I flattened it all out on the grinder. I could just take it straight to the grinder and then just start removing material and thinning it all out, but it just kind of takes forever. Or someone might say, well, just run it through the bandsaw. Well, that doesn't really work. The bandsaw, I don't have a bandsaw powerful enough to really do it, and that's going to almost remove too much material. So I'm just going to do this one like I did this, and just kind of remove as much material slowly but surely as I possibly can, and then go from there. So it turned out pretty good. I'll use this as the outside, this as the inside, so it's nice and flat to glue up to the handles. And then this is what I'll end up contouring and doing that. So this is going to have the metal pins. So we got some stainless pins and tube for that one. And this is going to get copper, or the brass, I'm sorry, copper. But this one I'm going to have to do the same thing. I'm going to have to thin all that material out and do my magic trick with that. And then we're going to build scales, because this is going to be a multiple piece construction with a line. No, well, I don't have to. Let's see. No, I don't have to, because it's a bolster look. So I can literally just get all the materials together and then glue it all together at one time, because it's a bolster look. If this was an inlay, that I would probably end up having to build scales. But for this one, what I need to do is take this to my machine there and really thin out this material. Unfortunately, it's just what needs to be happening, because I really need to thin this out to that. So I have a lot of material that I need to remove before I'm ready to use this material for anything. And I'm going to try to cut off on this side so I can keep this. Actually, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Because I don't know. I want to keep some of this blue material, and I'm wondering how deep that goes. I hope it goes all the way through, because I don't want to lose that blue color. But I got to make sure it's nice and flat. Well, I'm going to have to do this on the grinder, and this is going to be a lot of freaking work. But I'm going to make it work, because the last thing I need is a knife that is supposed to have a nice thin profile and thin handle to have this big chunky handle. It just doesn't work. It's just like that plus the little blade that's going to be in there. It just doesn't work. It's going to be too thick, but there's no other option. So when you're hunting for handle materials, thickness matters. Go ahead, come on, leave the comments. Let's have fun with this. But, you know, for like the spike, because I used this material, it's 1/8 inch material, and I'm going to do a liner, and that will be the perfect thickness for that material. It's going to be basically the same thickness as I did for all the blooms last month. That's 1/8 inch with the liner, and it ends up being a nice, thick, perfect handle for your hand, especially if you're talking such a small EDC blade. So if you're doing a little hawk like this, then, you know, roughly this material is a little thicker than the handle, but or the steel that I sent in, but that's just way too thick. So I'm gonna have to thin all this out and figure out what to do. But that's going to be on a future build, and you guys will end up having to watch that. So anyway, I hope you guys are excited about all this really cool handle material that we're going to be working with this month. It will be a pretty awesome month. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see what comes and how much we can get done. So thank you guys so much. I hope this kind of explained, and I hope you're excited about seeing what I come up with. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment, or not. Again, the choice is always yours.